Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, April 8th. This lesson is for those of you who missed class today so that you can make sure that you are caught up and ready to go when you come back hopefully on Monday. So we're going to start here with our objective. It's the purpose of this lesson is for students to understand that when a population competes for the same resource, a change to the size of one affects the size of others. We've been talking about this a lot, kind of off and on, and so we're really going to be able to test what your thoughts are. We're going to be doing all the activities in 3.2, and there's one activity there where we're going to be in the sim, so you can test your hypotheses. Let's go ahead and let me take you through to our slides. I'm not going to go through every single thing that we talked about in class. What I'd like you to do is go ahead and do the warm-up. Go ahead and read the prompt, and then stop this video and go ahead and start it after you've handed in your answer. Okay, so I'm going to skip the part where we're rereading the article. We just kind of talk about the idea of competition. And remember, competition is when two or more populations use the same resource, such as the same food source. So if two organisms are competing for the same source, then you'll understand, or the same resource, you'll understand why a change in one of those would affect the other one. But let's keep talking about it a little bit. So this vocab word, indirect effect, we've talked about it kind of a lot. I've alluded to it. This is finally where we're going to be talking about it in chapter 3. So an indirect effect is the result of one cause leading to an effect that causes one or more other effects. So a direct effect is when one thing leads to another. An indirect effect is when one thing leads to another, and then that change leads yet to another effect. So, for example, if we had an increase in the zooplankton population, that would lead to a lot of ESMs, and so the effect would be an increase in the moon jelly population. But then because there's a lot of moon jellies, the turtles are going to want to eat those. There's a lot of ESMs for the turtles, and so an indirect effect then would be an increase in the sea turtle population. So let's see what this looks like in the sim. This is the one thing that I want you to do. And then anything else that we did today, you don't have to make that up, but I want you to kind of work in the sim. So you might want to do a split screen so you can hear my instructions while you're working in the sim, or if that doesn't work for you on your iPad, just go ahead and watch the video and then try and work it out in the sim. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. So we're going to use what we've learned about competition and indirect effects to carry out a mission in the sim. And remember, you're in activity 3 and go to screen number 1. And so you'll notice in this picture, we've got a few more organisms than what we've had in the past. We also have the same tools that we can use, including this button right here. We're going to want to push that to look and see what the food web is. So on screen number 1, it's just going to ask you to take a look at that food web to find out what two populations are competing for the same resource. So go ahead and do that and then see what you can find. So you saw that the furbills and the stingwings compete for the, what do the furbills compete for? Oh, they compete for the weebug population. Okay, very good. So now we're going to go on to screen number 2. You're ready for part 2 of your mission. This is really similar to the sim that we worked on about a week ago, when you came up with your own way to see if you can manipulate the population of one organism by changing the population in another. So you're going to make a change to the furbills, and you're going to make this change that will cause the stingwings to increase. So if you look on screen number 2, just follow the prompts and answer the questions. First, you're going to record your plan. You have to kind of think about, what are you going to do to the furbills? How are you going to make those stingwings increase? And then before you make the change, this time we're going to let the sim run for 40 time units. So go ahead and hit play, let that go for 40 time units, stop it. You'll make your change. Remember, we open up this tab right here. Make the change. Don't forget to lock your change, otherwise it's going to mess it up. Press play and then run the sim for another 100 time units. We really want to see the maximum effect. So if you're going to increase it all the way up. If you're going to decrease it all the way down. And then let it run for 100 time units to really make sure that we get to see what we want to see. When your test is done, you're going to go to Analyze and use the range window to observe the population sizes after the change. So remember, we're looking right here at the population size. Okay? And then finally, you're going to explain what happens. So just follow the prompts in Amplify and answer those questions. All right? That's all I want you guys to do today. If you have any questions, email me, and I hope to see you on Monday.